everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's Roethlisberger's Steelers going up against Newton's Panthers. With that, let's get up to Charlotte, North Carolina, as we bring in our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Carolina Panthers. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. On your screen now, here are the offensive starters. At wideout, Antonio Brown is certainly someone that the defense always has to account for.
Without a doubt, a true #1 receiver. It doesn't matter to him how defenses want to cover him. He sees it as a challenge and knows how to defeat them.
They'll run it with Bell. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
The way he roared up and made that play, that tells me that he spent a lot of time in the film room analyzing what this offense does, and he saw something that convinced him he didn't have to worry about the pass. He could just go right now and make a play. I think if you're the offensive team, you better file that away a little bit. Maybe think about some play action down the road. You might catch him deep.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end, and it's 4th down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
They'll indeed go for it with Roethlisberger. And it is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. First carry for Jonathan Stewart. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. Here's the lineup and a big boy in the backfield, Tolbert.
It's real easy to look at him and immediately picture a bowling ball scattering pins. That's exactly what Mike Tolbert does.
Slot man moves right. This is Stewart again. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. And the numbers down a bit from their Super Bowl year this season for Jonathan Stewart. Did have some injuries. He finished with 824 yards. 9 touchdowns, though. Good in that department.
When it's around the goal line, he's a terrific runner because he knows how to get there, and he can run through contact, run through trash, as we like to say. That's part of the reason he accumulates the injuries that he does, because he runs inside a lot and takes on those linebackers. But they're going to work on Jonathan Stewart in the offseason, get him healthy, and have him back ready to go for next season.
First and goal here from the 9. Newton to his fullback, Tolbert. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. And they're going to go soft on the corners. Now they'll run with Tolbert. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Off-play action. Newton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, Tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
And Gano's kick is right through. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. And the first 3 points of the night belong to our home team as they get the field goal on the game's initial drive.
A good, solid drive. It didn't wind up in the end zone, but that's okay. You've got something positive on the board, and you got the early lead.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On second down, Roethlisberger. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. And the starting defense here for the Panthers.
It's real easy to talk about Thomas Davis coming back from multiple knee injuries, but he wants his play on the field to be the story.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. Roethlisberger now to throw on third down. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. Sammy Coates the intended target there. And that'll bring up a fourth down.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches. So they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. Fourth down. Here we go on fourth down with Roethlisberger. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now Stewart on first down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Second down following the run.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
The man in motion is Brown. And Charles, a couple extra defensive backs in here on 3rd and 1.
Not expecting them to run it at all.
They'll try and run it. Here's Stewart. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. And Charles, I know Ryan Shazier, who made that tackle, a youngster you like a lot.
I love him, and I liked him a bunch coming out of Ohio State because the more this game leans towards speed and less on bulk, that's where Ryan Shazier excels because of his ability to run down plays. If anything goes away from him, he'll chase it. A lot of the time, he can run with tight ends, running backs downfield and pass coverage. That only helps his outside linebackers like James Harrison and Bud Dupree get to the quarterback.
And Gano's kick is right through. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time we saw them go for it in kind of an unusual situation. It's not like it's a fourth quarter do or die. They went for it, didn't get it. We'll see how that affects them this go around.
Partner, I'm wondering if we're starting to see the effects of analytics coming into play here, where people are studying the number of possessions, how many times you should go for it, what position it leaves your team in. Maybe we're starting to see a little bit of that creeping into the NFL game.
Yeah, I think we've seen it in other sports, maybe into the NFL now as well. Here's a direct snap to Bell. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And he is going to lose. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package.
Here we go.
Now a Wildcat look. It's Bell. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2.
And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on 3rd down.
5 defensive backs. This time, Roethlisberger will throw. Wide open receiver complete. A big gain of 38 there on 3rd down.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch. And it came on a crossing route. I can just hear one of my friends who won.
That's caught inside the 20. Brown finishing 2016 with over 1,200 yards, 106 receptions. Now for him, people were expecting maybe some bigger numbers. Charles, what did you make of Antonio Brown's season?
Well, what I made of it is that he started to get more help along the way. Jesse James developed at tight end. Once Le'Veon Bell got into the lineup, he started to catch passes out of the backfield and ate up a few numbers as well. So Big Ben had more targets to throw it to. That should help Antonio Brown going forward in 2017 because he'll still be the primary guy. But when you get help, boy, you can make bigger plays downfield.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Okay, I have to take a second here and talk about Greg Olsen, the tight end for the Carolina Panthers. 3rd straight year over 1,000 yards in receptions. And guess what? That's the first time that's ever happened in NFL history. 3 straight years by a tight end.
That's really something. Now 31 years of age. They're going to need him next year to turn it around because a very disappointing season.
Not the season anyone expected, least of all the Carolina Panthers, but he's a building block that they can go ahead and get back to form starting in 2017.
It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Now it's Newton. And his throw here's incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And it's 3rd and short.
That's a really fine play there, because anytime you see a comeback route, that means you cannot just stay in one spot and make a play on the ball. You've got to move your feet and move with the receiver, and that's exactly what he did.
So just 1 yard to go here on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice gain.
On first down, it's Newton. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Second and 10, Newton again. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. A good pickup there at 22. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is not with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle. He can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
They come up in an offset eye. Trying to punch it in, Stewart. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Here's Newton. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Mike Tolbert from 3 yards out. And the Panthers are going to jump back in front.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whenever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steelers' offense now, they head back onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
They go play action here on first down. This is Bell on the dump off. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll make it a second down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. He's going to launch this thing. And this throw will be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
The wide receiver moving to a new spot. On second down, here's Newton. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there. And that'll make it third down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. They'll come out in the pistol. Throwing on third down, Newton. Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Green's got it over the middle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Now Roethlisberger on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. So the D-line's going to spread out. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Second and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. On the right side, caught by Green. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Roethlisberger. And he's got Rodgers. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. In the red zone this time. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now Bell. And able to use the stiff arm to gain leverage initially, but not much room thereafter. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They come out here in the eye. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. That's complete right around the 8. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Field goal unit not out there. They won 6 before halftime. Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. This will be caught just inside the 10. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the... Panthers, they'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Greg Olsen, 70 yards. And the Panthers add on to their lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Cam looking to throw. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So 2nd and 10 here. Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here's Jordan Berry now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That'll be a gain of 15 yards. And they're able to move the chains as they convert on 4th and long.
Okay, that was a fake punt, and it was successful throwing the football. I know you threw the football in your past off of a fake.
Yeah, but unsuccessful back in my high school days. Old Tim Jones dropped it, hit him right in the numbers. But I'll tell you what, these guys, they love this opportunity, don't they? A chance to get involved.
They certainly do, and many of them were quarterbacks or big-time players when they were in high school and college. So to get back doing what they did before, always fun.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, defensively, you got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game, one of the premier runners in the NFL.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Carolina getting set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Draw play, Newton to Stewart. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Buying time to his left. Man open left side is Brown. And he's brought down after a good gain. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer, because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. When you're not allowed to climb, you got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there, and a really nice play resulted for them.
Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And this is going to be incomplete. The intended receiver was Corey Brown. And 4th down coming up. Here's Andy Lee now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. He gets it away, and I think they'll smartly play keep away here from Brown. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go.
And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. And again here, we'll see the Wildcat.
Let's go. 1, 9.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimum gain.
They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
So now at 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary. A nickel look. A screen to Bell. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. Here we go on 4th down with Roethlisberger. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got it at the 15. What a decision to go for it on 4th from their own territory, and it pays off. 55 yards. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell, and he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Sammy Coates. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Steelers are able to make this a close game again. And the lead is down to 4. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And they're going to speed things up here. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And Olsen over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Newton gives off to Stewart, and he stopped immediately there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And quickly, they get to the line. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
So Carolina eating some clock on the ground there, and part of why they were the NFC champs last year, number 2 as a team in the running game.
They put their identity last year. Offensive line that could move people in the run game. Jonathan Stewart running it. Of course, big Cam Newton could be a short yardage guy. And remember, their head coach, Ron Rivera, a defensive guy. They love to run the football.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. The Panthers going for it on 4th. Newton. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that 4th down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. Now the Auburn alum, Artis Payne. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On 2nd down, here's Newton. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It's a 7-yard gain. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. Shift together here from the D-line. On 1st and 10, Newton. And this is caught. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Kelvin Benjamin, 32 yards. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something to...
And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Charles Johnson in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Roethlisberger looking deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. 1st and goal, defense with their backs against the wall. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
So often you hear defensive coaches talk about we need all 11 on every play in order to be a good run-stopping unit. And sometimes it starts to sound a little cliche, but did you see the free safety on that play? Knifing through and running down the ball carrier. A huge, huge play. And when you have a free safety who can run like that, you've got to turn him loose. So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
And they're going to go soft on the corners. Throwing is Newton. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Kelvin Benjamin. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Panthers use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Gano now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He was waving the hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Third down, here's Bell. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Roethlisberger. He's got his man here. It's Green. It's a pickup of 19 yards on the play. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try and open things up in the run game.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. A screen to Bell. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger toward the sideline, and he will have the 1st down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
So the D-line's going to spread out. Now Roethlisberger on first down. Can't find anyone open. And Big Ben intercepted a third time. Picked off by Trey Boston. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.